You have a Wicked song stuck in your head right now, don't you?
Yes.
Do I?
We have the same one.
What is
and
it?
it goes like this. Loathing.
Through life. Oh, yeah, that's good. Loathing. Oh, that's funny.
Dancing through loathing.
Come with me.
What?
To meet the wizard.
I couldn't possibly. This is your moment. I'm coming.
What song did you get stuck in your head? Because those, they're catchy.
Well, it's because it ends on Defying Gravity, so it's just been...
Oh, I know that one. What's it called?
Defying Gravity. Yeah, and I'll bet you do the ha.
Yeah, I did the whole thing.
You do?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
We've already sang together before.
I know we did. Remember what we sang?
If I had a hammer,
I'd hammer in the morning.
I'd hammer
In the
yeah,
evening, I'd about to get down. That's right.
Yeah, I'm about to get down. Is that what you said?
I didn't say that.
There's always that one track that is stuck in your head. Well, what's the one for you that you just cannot freaking get out of there?
Dancing Through Life for me, for sure. It's a catchy little number. And just when we were filming it, all the different angles, it was definitely on replay a lot. So it's an earworm for sure, and it's very, very easy, at least for me, to get stuck in my head. And you know what? I was okay with that, because it's good.
I think for me, it's What Is This Feeling?
That's also a good one.
I love that. That's such a great number, and it's always stuck there.
It's a great question. What is this feeling?
What is this feeling?
Was there a Goosebumps?
What is this feeling?
Well, I was going to ask.
What is that?
We're here. You're finally...
We're talking to Cinema Blend. I mean, what more can I ask for? This is a dream.
You're doing press for Wicked.
Yes, I
could
can't
you
believe
believe
it.
you finally got here?
No, I can't. I honestly can't believe it. I didn't get to go to the Australia media stuff, so to be, because I'm about to have a baby, to be here, I feel like, put me in, coach. I want to talk about this movie. And so I'm excited to be here.
Well, also, congratulations.
Thank you.
On the film and the baby.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
course.
2 babies.
2 babies. There it is.
I wanted to talk about the sound design.
Yes.
Because especially at Shiz, there were so many moments where you'd hear like a little whisper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it felt very strategic. How much work did you personally put into choosing when and where that pops in?
Mix can ruin your movie, or it can level up your movie. And I think sound is like 70% of the movie, and especially a movie like this where it's a musical. Literally, you can run over your whole movie. You can run over the nuance. You can run over their performances. So I'm very hands-on in that. We had one of the best mixers, Andy Nelson, who has been around for a long time, does all the Spielberg movies, and John Marquis, who I've worked with in many movies. And so for me, being in that room where we tweak, how silent does it actually get in the Oz dust? What do you actually need to hear? What do you not need to hear? When does it become a perspective, her perspective, and when does it become like a real life thing? And those things change. You know, when you feel people laughing at you, that is harsh enough. When you turn it into your own perspective, it starts to echo. It sort of like puts a spotlight on inner thoughts, and you start to go into a different direction, and you're in her shoes in that. And sometimes that can be more powerful. Sometimes that can take you away from that. So every choice was specific, and they're singing live as well.
With you and I defying gravity.
All the singing choices of, do you hear the pillow when she picks it up and sings? Or do you hear the gadget, and how loud is it, and how much is it disturbing the lyrics? And so those were all very finely tuned. Some directors don't like to hear the Foley, the walking, while I like to know that it's happening in the room, because I don't like it to feel, unless it's very specific, I don't like it to feel like it's just floating in from nowhere. I like it to feel like it's coming from her. So we did that often. We had a pianist on the side, they had their little inner, and they could go off tempo or on tempo how they felt. And that was really freeing.
What happened? I could have sworn you had these piercing blue eyes. What happened to the what? Are you wearing contacts right now?
I left them at home in England. So
Did you have piercing? Where did you
I
have
had piercing blue eyes.
In this?
I did, yeah.
I got to see it again.
Winky blue, some would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Hey, do you know there is a blue called periwinkle? Maybe they were periwinkle blue.
Reason why we did that will become clear in the second film.
Well, a lot of people say it's really difficult to act with those color contacts in. Did you find that?
I did feel like I was in a greenhouse looking
Yeah.
out towards Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, no, it was. It definitely is. It's a different experience. Have you ever filmed with contact lenses?
Yes.
And it does sort of restrict, but it was. I think it will be worth it. There's a lyric in the duet where you've got me seeing through different eyes, and so that might give you an indicator of what happens later on. So there is a reason.
And isn't there a song in the movie, Don't It Turn My Brown Eyes Blue? That's not from this movie.
I don't know.
I think it's
Okay.
Brown Eyed Girl is what you're thinking of.
That's right.
Blue-eyed John.
The best way to bring folks together is to give them a real good enemy.
Was there a Goosebumps moment, given the live vocals? Was there anything in particular that you were like, boom, that just hit me really hard? I'm going to remember that moment forever.
And I think, honestly, anytime any of the cast members opens their mouths to sing, like, just the sheer talent, just incredible. Cynthia really is a powerhouse. I mean, everyone's great, but Cynthia just, they astonish me every time.
So if you can't find me out to the western sky.
I was lucky enough to be on set because I'd filmed something on another stage, and then I came over to say goodbye while Cynthia was doing the end of Defying Gravity. But it's not her you're looking for, it's me, you know? And that was nuts because she's flying and she's doing all of this stuff and she's flipping and she's just like piercing your soul by singing. So that was, I will never forget that moment for the rest of my life.
One of the most Goosebumps moments was I'm Not That Girl, of course. You have Cynthia singing, and at that beginning moment, and if you watch it, it's almost like the music comes from nowhere. And we couldn't actually hear it. It's only in her ears unless I put my headphones on. So I'm just hearing this little echo in this giant set of a forest that we built in this sound stage. And there were birds who made nests in the thing. So every time she sang, these birds would sing because they had some sort of attachment to her voice. But her singing that, it was so quiet. I could see Grips tearing up, and I knew that something was very special happening in that.
One of my favorite memories was from early in rehearsals, maybe one of the first or second days that I was there in rehearsal. We had 100 dancers working on Dancing Through Life, and Jon came down to sort of film it with his phone just to see where we were at, and he gathered everyone around. I'm gonna keep this short, but he gathered everyone around, and he gave this beautiful speech that was about how he fell in love with filming dance and how he fell in love with this kind of storytelling. And he said, I'm not here to chop up your movements and tell my story. I'm here to help you tell your story through dance. And we're all in it together. If you need anything on set, it's a big set. If you need water and nobody is listening to you, come to me. And that sounds like a platitude that someone might say on the first day of a long project, but Jon held that up through the entire thing. So I think there was a real community. And it just, the way that you build a community in a cast on stage or in the theater community, that was there in a really beautiful way.
Yeah, and there's something about that camaraderie amongst your peers that's almost scrappy in a way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did it feel that way regardless of the fact that it's this big budget motion picture?
Shockingly, yeah.
Yeah, the kindness was consistent throughout the whole project. Even going on like little sleep some days, still maintaining composure and being kind. That was always there.
Remember one day Johnny Bailey saying, like, it really feels like we're doing a student film, and then suddenly it doesn't. You know?
Yeah.
But that was really the feeling. It's like, it feels like we're doing a student film, and then suddenly, like, look at us now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You know that he's a Jurassic man now, right? Have you talked about this? Have you given him advice on how to step into that?
I couldn't possibly give advice, as Charlie says to Willy Loman.
Bare necessities. He was Baloo and I was Mowgli.
No, I haven't given advice. But the only time we've really talked about it is in interviews like this.
Yeah.
That's the only.
So we could like to keep it nice and private and intimate when we talk about Jurassic.
Here I was thinking it was an original question.
No, it's a
No.
great question.
We
And
both
I'm
have
too-
we've got a lot of common ground, but Scarlett Johansson is very much, one of our shared favourite people, I'd say, right?
Oh, Scarlett Johansson is great. I've known her. Do you know? I've known her since she was a kid.
I know, yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, she told me. Yeah.
Oh, she told you. She and her mom, we were going to do something together. Her mom wanted us to kind of explore doing something together when she was like 11 or 12. And in the lobby of the Chateau Marmont, we had a meeting. And
wow.
I remember Scarlett from that. She was full of beans and teeming with life and brilliance already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed.
No.
Literally nothing. No, nothing's changed.
No.
Real quick on my way out, because they wrap me. Is part 2 done?
Part 2 has a cut version, and I'm getting into it now.
Can't wait.
I'm not afraid. Who's the wizard who should be afraid of me?
What was it like being on set with giant monuments of yourself? It was scaring your castmates.
I didn't
scaring
say
them.
I didn't say that. I said it was inspiring.
Inspiring? Yeah. Well, yeah. Big Jeff.
Did you get the? Because it was a bit like in Petra and Jordan walking through the Wadi Rum into the carving of your face.
Well, I don't know that reference.
I'm sorry, I know it's quite niche.